Hey y'all. So I'm back with another lesson. Normally I do it with Lord's Love, Lessons in Leading, but God has been teaching me a lot of lessons lately during this transition period. So welcome everyone to Lord's Love, Lessons in Leading. Sorry, my name is Deborah Harris, and I'm so excited to keep sharing the revelations that God has given me along this very, very, very interesting journey that he has destined for me and or ordained over my life, um, through, part of my own choosing it also, because, free will and everything. Um, but once I decided to, get my life together and completely go after what God has for me, this journey has been super deep. And so, just to piggyback on the last lesson I talked about, which was no longer calling the waiting period, but viewing it as and taking ownership of it as the working with God period to shore up the foundation to make sure it is strong because that is upon which God's blessing will stand. So that, like, looking at it in that way definitely places like an added ownership and responsibility on you and a co-partnership relationship back again with God and the thing. So this next lesson like piggybacks off of that, because I am in that period, that working with God period to show up the foundation upon which his blessing will stand. And God has been teaching me a lot through this period, because, God will tell you a thing. You're like, God has talked to me about many promises, and those promises come with great things, but also a lot of work, like a lot of work. And I'm like, okay, cool, 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 cool. I ain't afraid to get my hands dirty, whatever. But a lot comes with it, to whom much is given, much is expected. And so during this time, God was like, as I'm working with God and I'm like, where is it? And God is like, hold up, you know. And so God is just like, gave me an example of my mom's mac and cheese. Now, my mom's mac and cheese in the family is super famous, okay? And God was like, imagine you were coming home from the holidays. You called your mama November. You was coming home for Christmas. You said, Mom, I want macaroni and cheese for Christmas. She said, cool, I got you. You could count on me. Macaroni and cheese is going to be there for Christmas. All right, cool. So during this process, I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to get this macaroni and cheese because I trust my mom. My mom is gonna cook this macaroni and cheese because she always cooks this macaroni and cheese, right? When I ask. So Christmas holiday comes, I fly home or whatever. I don't see no cheese in the fridge. I don't see no noodles cooked. I don't see nothing. And I'm like, Mom, like, I don't see no eggs, no milk. Like, is you gonna go to the store? She's like, I got you. Like, I'm gonna go to the store. And I'm like, okay, but she's like, don't I always come through with this macaroni and cheese? And I'm like, yes, you always come through. So she finally goes to the store, way out of my comfort zone. It's like the night before, Christmas. And I'm like, dang, Mom. And she's like, but I got you. So the macaroni and cheese is cooking. I can smell it. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And your mom yells down the stairs, don't eat the macaroni and cheese yet. You're going to burn your mouth. Like, just wait for it to settle. But being hard-headed and wanting what I want, when I want it, what do? I go and I open the oven and I stick a fork in and I take out a piping hot, too hot piece of macaroni and cheese. And what does it do? It burns my mouth. So now I have an uncomfortable rash for like the next 2 days on my tongue because I did not wait for that thing to finish cooking and settle. So that then when I ate it, it did not harm me. And it was fully ready to be devoured. And so if there was any uncooked egg or anything, it wouldn't make me sick. It wouldn't be burning my mouth. And that thing would be nourishing unto me. That is what God is asking us to do. That is how God has been asking me to see this period while I'm working with him to shore up the foundation upon which his blessing will sit upon. Like, God is like, I understand you have a timeline, and I understand, like, I've told you some things, but what I need you to know is that me working within my time, Deborah, as God is ensuring that your blessing is settled, so it does not harm you, so it does not make you sick, so you don't have a stomach ache after, or don't get burned or anything like that. I want to deliver it until you complete it, not halfway done. So I'm going to need you to wait until I deliver a completed blessing unto you, because once a thing is completed, you will never have to go back. You will never have to worry about if something has harmed you, if something wasn't cooked right, or if that's what's making you sick. No, no, no. Because when I deliver a blessing, I deliver it unto completion, because I need that thing to nourish you. And then I need you to tell others about how good it was. Tell others about how much it blessed you. And I need you to testify of that thing in such a way that they then want to know, what is the recipe to your mama's macaroni and cheese? I hope y'all caught that. I'll be talking to you all later next time on the Lord's Love, Lessons, and Leading. And the lesson of today is, wait for God's blessing to settle. And just because it ain't your time, that don't mean it ain't going to be on time. And if God is taking their time, then God is delivering that blessing to you in completion. And that should give you all the joy in the world.